Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we are discussing an essential solo that everybody should learn. It's the solo from Take It Easy and it sounds like this. This solo is so important, I believe, for any guitarist to learn because of the components it uses. It uses simple major and minor pentatonics, major arpeggios, minor scales, things like this. Very simple melodic concepts, melodic tools, and it moves around with the chords in a beautiful, elegant, and simple way. Okay, so we're going to learn this solo, but I don't want you to particularly learn the solo note for note. I want you to learn the concepts behind the solo. What is going on in the solo over the chords. So the solo is playing directly in relationship with the chords. So melody and chords working together. And we're going to look at what is happening over what chord. Okay, give a man a fish and he'll eat for a day. Teach a man how to fish and he'll eat for a lifetime, or something along those lines, and that is what we're going to do today. So if you haven't already, don't forget to like, subscribe, blah, blah, blah. Let's get into it. Okay, so first we need to take a look and understand the harmony. So the chord progression underneath the solo goes like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, G, 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 D, C, G, D, C, G, E minor, D, C, G, A minor, C, E minor, E minor, D. Okay, so the G is our 1, the D is our 5th, okay, the C is our 4th, the E minor is our 6th, and the A minor is our 2nd. Okay, so all diatonic harmony. And when we are playing this solo, the melodies that the soloist is playing are directly related to the chord that is playing in the harmony at that point in the solo. So that is what we are looking at. Okay, so let's look at the first 4 bars. In the first 4 bars, we have the chord progression playing G, 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 D, C. So in these 4 bars, the melody actually outlines the melody of the vocals in the verse. Okay, so we come in at the 4th fret on the G string, we slide into it. Okay, and then we're going to play the 3rd fret on the B and E with a double stop. Okay, it does that twice. Okay, and then we hammer on the B string to the 5th fret, and then back to the 3rd fret, and then we pull off 4, 2, 0 on the G string. Okay, and this is using G major pentatonic. Okay, so we're using G major pentatonic in this shape. And G major pentatonic in this shape. And then we're going to hold our 2nd finger on the 3rd fret of the B string, and then hammer from 2 to 4 on the B string. Okay, and we're going to do that twice before we pull off from 2 to 0 on the G string. Okay, and then we're going to play 2 on the D, and then open on the G. Okay, and then we're going to play 0, 2 on the D, and then open G. Okay, so that's over the first 4 bars. Now we're looking at bars 5 to 8, and this is a 4-bar cycle, and the chords change every bar. The chords change from G to D to C back to G. Okay, and what happens in the solo is the soloist is playing the corresponding major pentatonic to each chord. So when we play G, he is playing G major pentatonic. When we play C, he's playing C major pentatonic. And when we play D, he's playing D major pentatonic. So the first 2 bars are the exact same phrase, just played with the different major pentatonics. So the first bar is over a G chord, and the lick is... Okay, so on the G string, slide up to the 4th, 3 on the B, 4, 2 on the G, to finish at 5 on the D. Okay, that's over a G major chord, over that shape. Okay, and then he slides up to the same lick when we get to the D major chord. Okay, and it's the exact same lick, just played over the D shape here. Okay, beautiful way of outlining those chords. And then we go into our C major, okay, with this lick here. So we slide up to the 9th fret on the G string, which is the major 3rd of C. Okay, and then we play the 8th fret on the B string twice before we go to this 9th fret on the G again. Okay, and then we hammer on from 8 to 10 on the B. And then when we hit that G chord, we slide up to the 12th fret on the B string, which is the major 3rd of G. So from C to G, it would sound like this. Okay, so over those 4 bars, the licks sound like this. So now we're on to the segment of the solo between bars 9 and 12. The harmony is changing once every bar, and the harmony is going E minor to D to C to G. Okay, so let's look at this E minor first. Over the E minor, the guitarist is playing the B and E string, and he is sliding from the 10th to the 12th fret. Okay, and he does that twice before we get to the D chord. Okay, and then over the D chord, he is playing double stops using D major pentatonic. And he's specifically outlining a D major arpeggio. Okay, so the middle section of this pentatonic. Okay. So those 2 bars should sound like. And then we go on to this C chord, and we come down to the C major pentatonic, the exact same shape. And we're going to slide up to the major 3rd of C, which is 9th fret on the G string. And we're just going to play this fragment. 9 on the G, 8 on the B, and 10 on the B, descending back down to the 9 on the G. And then over the last chord in that segment, the G, okay, he is playing a double stop, a unison double stop, very common in country. Okay, so with our third finger, you're going to play the 10th fret on the B string and little finger 10th fret on the E string, and then the third finger is going to bend up a tone. Okay, and you're going to play that twice. Okay, and what we are doing there is outlining this interval. Okay, which is the 3rd and the 5th of G. Okay, so those 4 bars should sound like this. Okay, so we're on to the last section of the solos, bar 13 to 16. The harmony under this section is going to be A minor to a C to an E minor, okay, and then E minor to D before we go into verse 3, I believe. So over the first chord, A minor, okay, we're going to play this lick. Okay, and that's hammering from the 8th to the 10th on the B string. Okay, and then we're playing 7, 8, 7 on the E string. And then back to 10th on the B string. Okay, and what is happening here? This is simply running up the first few notes of the 8 minor scale. A, and then the second, and then the minor third. Okay, so it perfectly outlines this A minor chord. Okay, and then we come into a C chord. Okay, and we're going to play this unison bend. And this is a bend from the 2nd of C up to the 3rd of C, with the 5th held with our little finger on the B string. Okay, so the little finger is on the 8th fret of the B string, and my second finger is on the 7th fret of the G string, and then with that second finger I just bend up a tone. Okay, and this is a real countryism, and we are just outlining that C chord here. Okay, and then we come on to our E minor chord. And we're playing another unison bend. In fact, we played this unison bend earlier on in the solo, but over a G chord. Now, G and E minor are relative minors. Okay, so they share a lot of similarities. So you can play G stuff over an E minor stuff, and you can play E minor stuff over a G, and it works perfectly. They outline each other. So this unison bend from earlier. Okay, and you're just going to play that a few times. Okay, and then to finish it off, we're going to play a little interval from our D major chord. Okay, we finish on a D. Okay, and the guitarist just finishes with the last 2 strings from a D major chord. Okay, which obviously perfectly outlines a D chord. Okay, so I hope that was helpful. I'm going to do a few more of these. I'm going to find some really interesting solos, some solos that can teach us some essential concepts. I'm going to break them down, I'm going to analyse them, and I'm going to show them to you guys. So I'll look forward to making more of those. If you enjoyed that, don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, let me know what you thought. And as always, I will see you next week to help you transform your playing. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed that, guys, please consider watching this video right here. Thanks again.